Hello, my name is Dean Bostic, and welcome to my television show called Charities. The purpose of my show is to increase awareness of the work that nonprofit organizations do in the community and for the community. I would like to introduce my guest today, who would like to speak about their programs and what their programs do for the community. My first guest will be Ms. Ann Rudnicki, Executive Director of the Kitsap Adult Center for Education.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for the opportunity, both for you and from BKAT, for me to speak about our agency today. I appreciate that.
No, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So if you could tell us a little bit about your organization for the Kitsap Adult Center for Education, your mission statement, what kind of drives your organization,
Sure.
what you do,
Sure.
A little history, and the types of programs you have available.
Okay, the mission statement of the Kitsap Adult Center for Education is to promote and provide literacy to the adults in Kitsap County. And we're actually in the process of looking at that mission statement for the same reason that we changed our name recently. A lot of people still know us as the Literacy Council of Kitsap. We changed the name fairly recently, back in over the last year, about 6 months ago, formally. And part of that was because the notion of literacy for people, they think the reading. And that certainly is a very valuable part of what we do. It's a critical skill for people, but what we do is much broader than that. It's not just that we also do writing and arithmetic, but all the services we offer and all our discussions are really in the context of employability, family literacy, health literacy. So reading a bus schedule, which is both math and reading, is tied in with getting to work. Fractions is tied in with cooking and preparing meals for your family. So we were looking at really a broader concept. So Kitsap Adult Center for Education, CASE, is the new name, and I will probably at least once in the next few minutes use the old name, Literacy Council, because we're all still getting used to it. The CASE was founded in 1979, really through the actions of a broad group of organizations and individuals. Too many to mention and give credit to everybody, but I will highlight a couple. DSHS, the Kitsap Regional Library, a number of individuals, Jen Southworth, Helen Robinson, both of whom sadly have passed since then. And they all came together and recognized that there was a broad group of people in the community who were not able to read adequately, not having those basic education skills to allow them to be full participants in the community, in the life of the community. And we started with 26 volunteers back then in that first year. We're now having roughly 150 volunteers throughout the county. Who provide literacy and other services to adults in three main categories. And these categories flow into each other more than the distinctions will imply, but let me outline them. First of all is English as a second language, and that can include everything from extended family of servicemen to our refugee and immigrant neighbors in the community. Some people come from countries where we're highly educated, and we're really just looking at English as a second language. Others come here from low literacy, and so we're doing two things. We're doing English as a second language, but we're also doing some basic reading, writing, arithmetic skills with them. As they progress, they move into the adult basic education part of the program. And you can think of that as roughly up to about high school level. But also within that category are a number of people who often are very bright. They may have been gainfully employed for a number of years, but have, for example, learning disability. Dyslexia is one that people tend to know the most. That made it difficult for them to get some basic skills, and now they're going back and trying to work on those in a context that can be personalized to their needs. Especially for people who went through the school system a while back, we sort of vaguely knew about those things then, but they often were not given the opportunity to learn some skills that could help them with the learning disability. The other thing, the other group of people we have in adult basic ed are people who come in into our GED programs and need to beef up their skills in one or more areas. Most common, people will come in pretty well with reading-based skills, but math and composition are more difficult. So those areas, they'll need a lot more work to get up to quote-unquote GED level, and then to finish through the program. GED program right now is bursting at the seams. It's about 2/3 of our student population, which runs about 400 or so in a year overall for the entire program. And a lot of that really has increased since the economic crisis. Employability is hard for everybody. It's not a very fun market. I saw that the stats have gone up again for unemployment in Kitsap County. So people are trying to raise their employability. We also occasionally have employers. Some employers will ask that their employees come and increase their skills so that they can be more productive in the workplace as well. What we do with the students, we have a combination of one-on-one, as I spoke about, and also some classes. The one-on-one tutors often will be all through the community, meet time and place that's mutually agreeable, really work on what are the goals for that person, not just strictly in their education, but how does this fit into your life? You know, resume writing, for example, that's a reading, writing skill, but also fits into the broader picture of employability.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, yes. And then we also have classes in several sites throughout the county. Now, I use the term class, but it's different than what we tend to think of from our regular schools. Our classes are also a lot of individual work, but also some small group work. If we get a number of students come in roughly the same level, then we'll start out and do some group work and then give people the opportunity either to work with individual tutors or one of our few paid staff, and really tailor the program to what they need. People progress at different paces because of the fact that we have a certain number of people who are learning disabilities or just had learning styles that weren't terribly compatible with the school system at the time they went through it. They really need someone to just sit down and say, you know, let's explain this in a different way to give them an opportunity to progress, give them an opportunity to be successful because they may not feel that they were successful learners, or they may have been out of school for 20, 30 years, and it's hard to go back in and have a high level of confidence after that much of a break. A lot of our students, you know, they've run through different life challenges, some of which were why they didn't finish school in the first place. You know, coming out of abuse, coming out of a homelessness, domestic violence kinds of situations. And now they've their lives have stabilized and they're moving forward and they're trying to get all the pieces back together. I find them amazing people. I'm impressed. They're coming back sometimes again after a number of years and, you know, in there every day or several days a week and bringing in their work and how can I move forward. So they're really amazing group of people. Yes. We're part, in general, of a number of organizations or cooperate with a number of organizations in the community. I think all of us together in the nonprofit community are trying to raise the employability or give more opportunities to people, trying to find ways that we can get bigger bang for our efforts and books in order to come together and provide more packages of services. So, you know, we're based, for example, in sites of other organizations. We collaborate and are in different networking. We come together for different planning for individual students or collectively for our students. In general, let's see. What have I not covered? We have 150 volunteers, as I said. We have just about 4 paid staff. So we're a very lean organization trying to maximize our services for people. Our funding base is about 2/3 government funding. We are a United Way agency. We also get the support of Medina Foundation and several other of the community foundations throughout the state. And the rest is community support. That's been very valuable for us, both in terms of bringing in tutors, but also in terms of just paying the bills. And like all organizations right now, we're struggling between increasing needs and diminishing resources.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes. But we're very committed to continuing the work we do. We're very proud to be part of the Kitsap community in terms of raising skills for people. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about the program.
Yes, what made you decide to work with this organization? Is there anything that happened in your life or a person that you know life that kind of led you towards this type of work and helping people get educated, go into the community, look for jobs,
Sure.
Hopefully start their own businesses if they like, which would increase employees.
Yes.
You know, Bremerton needs more employees.
Yes.
More employees, more merchants starting their own business, which could also take care of the commercial space, which is a lot here in Bremerton.
Yes.
So have education, training for businesses, and they'll work with different businesses in the area and start their business. I mean, hopefully that can kind of rejuvenate Bremerton. And your organization is pretty much one of the first steps.
Yes.
Is to getting educated so that you can understand how things work in the community.
Right, I agree. The link between education, employability, and community health, it's one complete whole. And to address any one piece of those, you also have to work on the others, and each one you do increases the impact on the others as well. For myself, I actually was one of the volunteer tutors for a number of years before I came on as the executive director. But over the years, I've actually worked with a number of people in different agencies and my other lines of work or other occupations, worked with people who were in the same boat as a lot of the adults who are coming into case in terms of they needed education skills. They, for whatever reason, were past the point of being able to be in the regular schools or had not been successful in that and need some concentrated work with education to be able to move forward with their lives. So it was really an exciting opportunity for me to be one of the tutors, and it was kind of a fun thing at the time, a couple hours a week. That was kind of a fun, challenging, enjoyable kind of time. And so I was really pleased to have the opportunity to participate in the organization in a different way. Wow,
that is great. Man, we are absolutely thankful for the work that your organization does in the community. And if you would like more information on the Kitsap Adult Center for Education, please go to their website. And thank you again. We would love to have you back.
Great. Well, thank you.
Or tell us about any progress or any new programs, and kind of let us know what's going on with the Kitsap Adult Education's program.
Great.
Let us know. Thank you very much. Thank you. And my next guest will be Mr. Peter Rafa, the Executive Director of the Kitsap Regional Library Foundation. And Peter, thanks for coming today.
Well, thanks for having me, Dean, and I couldn't have picked a better person to be here with. And you did a great job with Case, and congratulations on the new position and bringing Case forward in our community, because literacy is important. So we have a common link here with literacy and the library. And the Kitsap Regional Library Foundation's mission really is to provide support above tax-based support that we get from property owners in Kitsap County. So it is limited so that the foundation then supports whatever is on top of that. So we are able to bring the community more programs, more books, collections, downloadable materials that are being continually increased throughout our system. So we have 9 library branches throughout Kitsap County, and the bookmobile, which we call Violet. And Violet goes around to from Olala to Seaback to rural areas that are far away from library branches. And there's a lot of people who homeschool their children, and they rely on Violet to come on a weekly basis to provide books for their kids. So it's critically important. The Library Foundation does several special events to raise money. We have 3 coming up this fall. One is a mystery panel with Kevin O'Brien and Mary Dahim. They're mystery authors from Seattle, and they'll be at Cano Lodge on October the 14th. So we're going to have wine and cheese and a mystery panel discussion, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then we have Noah Friedland coming in November, on November the 12th on Bainbridge Island in a private home. and he wrote The House Divided, his book, about two brothers. One went into the Israeli war, and one is from Israel. So it's sort of the conflict between the two brothers and their relationship, and that's why it's called The House Divided.
Okay.
And then Breaking Dawn Part 1, the Vampire Twilight series. We're doing the movie premiere at Bainbridge Island on November the 17th at midnight, so you can be the first one to see the movie. So those are the three Library Foundation sponsors events. And then the library has a plethora of events going on all the time. The foundation supports the One Book, One Community, which is The Big Burn, written by Timothy Egan. It is about the Great Fire of 1910 and the relationship between President Theodore Roosevelt and the father of forestry, Guilford Pritchot, and their relationship and how the national parks got started. And the fire was in Wallace, Idaho, in the Valley of Wallace, and the community and how it was affected and how the firefighters banded together. So we have about 30 programs all throughout Kitsap County, and they're all free, and they're all around the Big Burn, and we really encourage everybody to read the book and get involved with the programs. We've got movies, we have Theodore Roosevelt impersonator coming from Ohio to the Kitsap Mall. We have Fall in the Mall programs every Saturday in October. Starting with October the 1st, we have downloadable devices, which are hot right now. I understand just yesterday in the Seattle Times, Kindle is now allowing for the first time people to download library books. Before they were very private with their information, and they wouldn't let libraries download on Kindles. Only the Nook and Sony readers and other devices were available. And now Amazon has given the rights to libraries to be able to download the books. So soon, by Christmas time, people will be able to take their Kindles into the library. And if you need information on how to download free library books onto your electronic device, come to the mall on October the 1st, and we're located right outside of Barnes & Noble, across from the soft pretzels and the ice cream, and it'll be great for everybody. And then October the 8th, we're having a Dory Jones Yang reading, and October the 15th is Teddy Roosevelt, and he's also going to go in the evening to the Pavilion in Port Orchard. So if you miss him at the mall, you could also see him in Port Orchard. October the 22nd is Greg Atkinson, who is a Northwest chef, and he has a new cookbook coming out, so he's going to be doing some demonstrations there at the mall for that. And then October the 29th is Halloween storytelling for the kids. So the event's not to miss. We would really thank it's really a partnership. The mall's given the space to us for free. Barnes & Noble really supports the efforts by being there with the books and bringing the authors in, and the foundation supported all of the programs around the One Book, One Community, which is about $5,000 worth of programming that we're offering the community for free. And Timothy Egan will also be at North Kitsap Pavilion to kick off the event. So you get to see the author when you read the book, which is really great. And of course, more information can be found at the library's website, krl.org, for that. And I'd like to say that libraries some people think libraries are obsolete, which I hear a lot. You still have libraries? Libraries are used more now than they ever have before. And I always say that libraries are from womb to tomb. We have books on pregnancy, how to get pregnant, how to not get pregnant. We have books on how to rear your children. We have preschool books. We have books, lifelong learning. We have storytelling for kids. We have baby story time. We have a third grader program, third graders to the library, started by the Kiwanis Club in Port Orchard, where we have each third grader in South Kitsap come to the library get their first library card, which is a great program. And they get a free book, and they get to have lunch, and they get to tour the library when the library is closed during the time the kids come. And it's really gotten to be a part of the community. We've about 3,000 kids. It's 5 years old, and we've had 3,000 kids going through the program so far. And now we've talked to the Kiwanis clubs in North Kitsap and East Bremerton, and they've all supported the program. So we're going to do third graders to the library for the first time early 2012 in Bremerton and Paulsbo, thanks to the Kiwanis clubs. And we've been talking to the Lieutenant Governor of Kiwanis to make it a county-wide program, partnering with Kiwanis to support all the third graders in Kitsap County to get to the library, because third grade is critically important. for reading, as Ann can attest to.
Education,
if you're
yes.
not skilled by 3rd grade in reading, all your other subjects will fall by the wayside, and dropout in high school is even higher. So it's critically important to get the kids in for the 3rd graders program. So we'd like to thank the Kiwanis Club for their support and the people in the community for support. Just last week, a lady came into Port Orchard, and her aunt had died, and she was a 3rd grade teacher in California. And to honor her aunt, she gave a contribution of support to the library for the program in honor of her aunt, which was great.
That was nice.
So without community support, just like Ann's organization, the Library Foundation could not do the work that we do as well. So we're all a partnership, and we're all connected, and we're all here for the community to provide great service and support. We also have outreach services at the library for people who can't get to the library for a health issue, or because they might be elderly and they can't drive anymore to get to the library.
Wow, that's a good program.
So we have 3 outreach workers that make 200 visits a month out into the community to homebound people in our community that want to have large print books, books on tape, to get library services. And they also provide library service to daycares and assisted living facilities throughout Kitsap County. So they'll replenish the libraries that are in assisted living programs, and they replenish the libraries that are in daycares for kids. And we also have book kits for book groups. We have over 300 book groups throughout Kitsap County, so you could check out The Big Burn, for instance, in an entire book kit. So you have 20 books to go to your book group that you could all read the book, and then you could go out to dinner, and then you can go see the author, and you can make it an entire event all around the library.
Wow.
So it's a really great thing, I think. Do you have any questions?
Yes, as far as other kids programs or adult programs, what type of programs specifically do you have that are, I don't know, as far as things that you think kids would be interested in? I mean, besides the programs you mentioned, are there any weekly programs that kids may?
Yeah, well, we just finished summer reading, which is, everybody should be familiar with summer reading, and we've had a record year of kids signing up for summer reading.
Could you tell us a little bit about summer reading?
Sure.
Briefly,
Sure, it's another partnership with schools, because we felt that during the summertime, kids might lose the skills that they've developed in school all year long by playing all summer or getting video games all summer long. Yeah. So in order to increase their reading skills, they're asked to come into the library and check out books, and if you get 100 hours, then each library does a different fun program to end summer reading. So some go to the corn maze, and some do bowling, and some have a super reader party at their different communities. So, and that's all on the website, so they can find out all about the super reading. And they get t-shirts, and they get free books. The foundation supports the books, and the Friends of the Library. Each library branch has a group called the Friends of the Library, and they do the book sales. And there's weekly book sales, and you can find out more about the book sales on the website as well, krl.org. And the book sale money goes to support the summer reading program and goes to support each library branch. So those are important too. So we have summer reading. We also started for the first time this year, earlier in the winter, we have adult winter reading. This past winter, it was on travel and destinations and taking you to foreign places through books. So we're going to do the adult summer reading, well, not adult summer reading, winter reading again next year. Okay. So that's something for adults, and summer reading is for kids. And I think Port Orchard's very soon is doing a zombie Project Runway for teens. And teens are going to get together and going to do, just like Project Runway designs clothes, they're going to be designing outfits for zombies, and the zombies are going to be going up and down the runway. So we have lots, and they did a Harry Potter teen program as well in the library, and teen mystery nights. So there's plenty of programs for teens and for kids, and they have toddler balls also throughout the branches too. So people can find out more if they're getting to that library or get on the website.
Now, briefly, we're down to our last 1 or 2 minutes, but briefly, I heard about a program you have at the Posbo Library. Could you tell us a little bit about that for fundraising type things?
Yeah, that's different from the library. That's the Kitsap Development Officers Group, acronym is KDOG, and it's really for development professionals for nonprofits and boards and executive directors to come together as a group to learn about different topics. And October the 4th will be on Boards on Fire to really help nonprofit boards be comfortable with raising money and really bringing organizations forward. And in November, we're doing Plan Giving. So we have Jeremy Stelter coming from the Stelter Company from Michigan coming out to talk about Plan Giving and how they can help with Plan Giving, which is gifts of wills in your estates for nonprofits. Mm-hmm. And then major gifts will be for December. And then the January meeting is really a meeting for the group to really solidify and form whether we want to form a 501c6 organization, which is a nonprofit membership organization. Mm-hmm. So we really like to do some outreach to nonprofit development professionals and executive directors or board members to come together to help each other, especially now in difficult times. So we can use all the help we can get.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's an educational opportunity for development people to get together. And we meet the first Tuesday of every month at noon at the Paulsbo Library right now, downstairs in the meeting room. So thank you for reminding me of that. And it's a newly formed group, but I think it's actively needed in our community now more than ever. So thanks for the plug, Dean.
Oh, no problem. Well, thank you for joining. Thank our guests very much, Ann. We're very proud of the work that you do. We really appreciate how you help the community, how you educate adults to go into the community and hopefully increase the job market, increase merchants' revenue, and bring money back into Bremerton, and develop it, get it back to where it was, get more people involved in public projects. And you guys have done a great job. Peter, thank you, sir, very much for your programs with the Kitsap County Library Foundation. You have a wide array of programs for kids, for adults, for seniors. In case they're disabled, you can have it's called Violet.
Violet.
Take Violet out to the house.
Womb to tomb.
Womb to tomb. Yes.
Easy for remember. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you have so many great programs also to reach out, to people. Both of you guys do a great job of reaching out to the community. Maybe sometimes people won't come to you. They don't know much about what you do, but hopefully this show will tell them more about what you do, and they'll appreciate your reach out, and can bring Bremerton back. Okay. Also, absolutely. Also on my show, I'm going to cover not only charities or nonprofits, I'm also going to cover fundraisers, which brings money back into the communities. Causes such as walks, different walks for causes, which brings public support. And if everyone wants more information, please check out either Ann's website or Peter's website. And if you would like to show support for my show, which is called Charities, please go to my website and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see more shows like this. Let me know if it was informative to you. And please leave a comment. Maybe we can get your favorite organization on to interview. Thank you very much, BKAT viewers, and you guys have a nice day.